tank bulls like this in history. Take a look at this. It's an explosion as soon as the gate starts to even crack open. Big kick, rolls that hind end around, and then just drops, jerks on the guy's riding arm so much that it always wants to whip. Look at the vertical right there, and then break over and rip it back down to the ground. That bull right there is as athletic as anything I've ever seen. Look at this kick. Man, I mean, it's just incredible.
And man, this second, look at that right there. Drops real low in the back end, gets his upper body back.
Okay, see if I can make this quick. This is a VR to Canadian Arctic Radio. He did a video today. It's Saturday. Of course, he's so far up north, it might be Thursday. Who knows? And I'm not exactly sure when I'll upload this. He made a video. It's interesting. It's a good video. We talked about basically men behaving badly. And this is just an aspect of one of the things that he talked about, and how guys are today, how some guys are. Now, I won't throw everyone into this because that wouldn't be fair, but there is a large number amongst us that is of a culture that has basically lost it. And I made the comment of lack of leadership and lack of good examples. And the men that you speak of, or the guys that you're speaking of, who think they're men, were actually are acting far, behaving poorly. And I think this is just a sign of the times. But I watch a lot of interviews on YouTube. That's why this past 2 weeks I wasn't on the internet too much, because I used up all my time. And so you watch these interviews, you watch an hour-long interview, it just eats up your minutes, or whatever you call it. But I watched an interview with Sam Elliott, the actor. A lot of westerns, real macho guy. And the guy interviewing him said, you know, you are Hollywood's man. Okay, you play these kind of parts, a real man. And your reputation behind the screen is also that you're quite the man. When he said, where do you get this inspiration from? Where did you get this? And Sam Elliott said, I get this from my father. Now, if you don't know this, his father was actually was a trapper for fish and game out of Sacramento. And he spent a great deal of Sam Elliott spent a great deal of his youth there. Yeah, I read another book that explained this about his father. I used to read all this trapping stuff. Anyway, Sam Elliott's dad was in fish and game. And the guy, he said, what's your inspiration? Why are you the way you are? He says, it's because of my father. And he said, I'll paraphrase this. He said, my father was real hardcore. Okay? But he was a gentleman. And all the people that he ran with and worked with and said they were very hardcore, but they were gentlemen. Okay? And some of you might be able to see what I'm saying here. There's a lot of guys walking around think they're hardcore, badass, and all this stuff. But the gentleman aspect, they don't have. Okay? You can be a real tough guy, this, that, and the other thing, and still be a gentleman. We've lost that. This culture has lost that. I've talked about this stuff in the past. But you see that today, since I blame rap music for everything. I didn't used to do this, but I do it now. But I like to blame these real TV shows and all this kind of stuff. This, whatever we call it, reality TV, where we have exalted and embraced the lowest of the low. People that have no moral compass. They have no real upbringing of any kind. They're just a couple steps above animals in their decision making and in their behavior and all this. And we have embraced this and exalted this on a high pedestal with these TV shows and everything. And we have a generation of children that grew up watching this stuff, And you really can't blame the way some of these people are acting, because this society, a great portion of our society, especially coming out of Hollywood, has this is what they promoted. And that's, I mean, it's, I don't know how else to put it. There's few gentlemen anymore. Not saying that I am. I'm not some self-righteous guy who like I have this figured out or anything. But you just don't see that. I'm sure there's gentlemen out there, but it's just if you watch television, you watch TV shows, you see this kind of stuff. There's a whole lot. I graduated from high school in 1985. I'm 50 years old. 1985. Okay, we weren't perfect, but we still had shame. There was things you did not do or did not get caught doing because you would be shamed. You would be ashamed to be caught doing that. You were going to, you know, hopefully you weren't on welfare. Maybe you had to be on welfare, but you surely didn't let anybody know about it. Maybe you got, you know, if you were smoking pot, you didn't want to get busted for it because then, you know, there was shame back then. Girl didn't want to get knocked up. You know, all this kind of stuff. Because there was still shame. There's no shame anymore. This is a free-for-all. You know, we talk about WROL, without the rule of law. Well, societal or social laws, things that kind of kept the parameters a little tighter, you know, you do this, you don't do that. The social law, that's where the WROL is. That's been shot all to hell. It's a free-for-all. It's a free fire zone. Anything goes. Anything goes today. Matter of fact, if it's far out enough, you might get a TV show. You know? That's why we see some of the things we see and see how some people behave and some of the things they do. There's no shame. And really what it is, it's a lack of leadership and no good examples, just poor examples. And that's what we've seen for so long now. You know, I mean, there's I don't scare easily, but when I do get to someone's house and they got TV on, I watch some of the things, or see something some old woman says, you know, like, gosh, dang, what's she, you know, what's she saying that for? She's supposed to be saying that. You know, it's like the tattoos and it's a free-for-all. It's anything goes. Okay, and in that kind of a society, there's no right or wrong. That's where we're at today. Okay, he said my father was hardcore, but he was a gentleman. Anyhow, check out Canadian Arctic Radio's video. I'll put a link down below. Hopefully it made some sense. Love you. God bless.